Trans girls are girls. And for all the folks that are so concerned, thank you for your concern about women for the first time that I've seen. I don't know about y'all, I don't know who's been to gym class lately, but girls, even if you only believe in two genders, I've played co-ed sports all the time. But what this also opens the door for is for women to try to perform a very specific kind of femininity for the very kind of men who are drafting this bill, and to open up questioning of who is a woman because of how we look, how we present ourselves, and yes, what we choose to do with our bodies.
What I will say is,
what
I will say is, she said that she did not enjoy Trump's 2017 inauguration because there was no diversity, there was no color on that stage. She said there was no reflection of the broader sense of what America looks like, and many people took pictures of her, and she just wasn't in a good mood. But I want to show a clip of what she said at the DNC, which I really think hits home.
For years, Donald Trump did everything in his power to try to make people fear us. See, his limited, narrow view of the world made him feel threatened by the existence of two hardworking, highly educated, successful people who happen to be black.
I want to give a shout out to all my amazing subscribers. Today, I've got a special treat for you. 2 clips that perfectly highlight the emotional, irrational, and dishonest nature of these radical left-wing liberals. First up, we've got a clip from Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, followed by the crackling crew over at The View. Trust me, these moments speak for themselves, and we're going to break them down and expose the truth behind their nonsense. So sit back, relax, and get ready for some fun as we peel back the layers on their emotional outbursts and wild claims. This isn't about feelings, it's about facts, logic, and showing you exactly how the radical left operates. So let's get into it.
Thank you so much, Madam Chair, Madam Ranking Member. Here we are today, Republicans who have voted consistently against the Violence Against Women Act, who have taken away the right of all women to choose and have control over their own body, who, as women are bleeding out in parking lots across the country, standing there, allowing us to die, now want to pretend today that they care about women. And why? To open up gender and, yes, genital examinations into little girls in this country in the so-called name of attacking trans girls. And to that, today, what we have to say are 2 words: not today. The majority right now says there's no place in this bill that says it opens up for genital examinations. Well, here's the thing. There's no enforcement mechanism in this bill. And when there is no enforcement mechanism, you open the door to every enforcement mechanism. Trans girls are girls. And for all the folks that are so concerned, thank you for your concern about women for the first time that I've seen. I don't know about y'all, I don't know who's been to gym class lately, but girls, even if you only believe in two genders, I've played co-ed sports all the time. But what this also opens the door for is for women to try to perform a very specific kind of femininity for the very kind of men who are drafting this bill, and to open up questioning of who is a woman because of how we look, how we present ourselves, and yes, what we choose to do with our bodies. I know who loves this bill. Yes, bigoted folks love this bill. Assaulters love this bill. But also, CEOs love this bill. Because Los Angeles is on fire right now. And this is the #1 priority this majority has. Thank you, and I yield back.
How does someone like AOC keep representing New York? Democrats like AOC claim they're for women's rights, but let's look at the truth. They push for abortion, claiming it's about women's choice. But think about it. Those unborn babies, many of them girls, could have grown up to be women. So what are they really promoting? The extermination of future women. They're not fighting for women's rights. They're fighting for the right to avoid responsibility. They tell women it's okay to kill their child, so they can keep partying and living selfishly, all while ignoring the consequences of their actions. And it doesn't stop there. They want men to be accepted as women, which is destroying fairness in women's sports, making locker rooms and bathrooms unsafe, and silencing women who dare speak up. If a woman says she feels uncomfortable with biological men in these spaces, she's labeled transphobic and told to deal with it. Is this really empowering women? No, it's intimidating and disrespecting them. As for this idea that women are bleeding out in parking lots, who are these women? If someone is scared to go to the doctor during a pregnancy crisis, it's because of the fear-mongering pushed by Democrats and their media allies. They spread lies to scare people, not help them. And let's clear up another lie. No Republican is out there calling for checks of children's genitals. That's pure propaganda from radical Democrats trying to twist the narrative. The Violence Against Women's Act, AOC, misrepresents it to push her agenda, but Republicans oppose parts of it because they believe it's flawed and doesn't actually help women the way it should. What we're seeing here is a radical politician who twists the truth to divide people, push her ideology, and avoid doing what's best for the American people.
The guest list is set for Trump's inauguration on Monday. Can't wait. Not Trump's favorite billionaires, are sure to be in attendance, but one VIP who's skipping the event is former First Lady Michelle Obama. Michelle's rep issued a statement confirming that the former president will attend, but not the First Lady. Is she right or wrong?
Yes, Lord, she is so right. She is so right. You know, she gave us that when they go low, you know, we must go high.
She changed that one.
And I think she's changed her tune. I think when they go low, you have to meet that energy and perhaps go even lower, become small like an ant and go to the earth's crust. And what I will say is, what I will say is, she said that she did not enjoy Trump's 2017 inauguration because there was no diversity, there was no color on that stage. She said there was no reflection of the broader sense of what America looks like, and many people took pictures of her, she just wasn't in a good mood. But I want to show a clip of what she said at the DNC, which I really think hits home.
For years, Donald Trump did everything in his power to try to make people fear us. See, his limited, narrow view of the world made him feel threatened by the existence of two hard-working, highly educated, successful people who happen to be black.
Everything with these radical leftists come down to race. They twist the truth to fit their narrative and attack anyone who challenges them. Donald Trump didn't make people fear Barack Obama because of his race. Trump wasn't targeting Obama because of his skin color. He was asking legitimate questions about his background and holding him accountable. But I'll tell you what's really happening. There are corrupt, power-hungry people who are exploiting our resources, our tax dollars, and the American people to push their own agendas. People like Michelle Obama and the Democrats have used taxpayer money to promote endless wars and insane policies that harm hardworking Americans. But now the people of this country are waking up. They see through the lies and manipulation of the Democratic Party, and instead of taking responsibility, all the left can do is hate. They call Donald Trump racist to distract from their own failures and cover up their own prejudice. It's time to stop falling for their games and focus on the real issues hurting our country.
Yeah. And I think when you see that, you understand why she wouldn't go.
So I have no problem with Michelle Obama not going. I think that it's critical that all former presidents and vice presidents attend. I think it signals to the world that despite a very tumultuous political season, that America moves forward and we're going to have a safe and secure transfer of power, despite Donald Trump in 2020 and what he did after January 6th. But I think as spouse, she served her time. I don't think that she's obligated to be there. But it was also reported that Nancy Pelosi isn't attending. And I think it's a missed opportunity for two reasons. I think that showing that the country is still going to move forward, even if the person you didn't want to win wins, even if you have grave concerns about who they are. But also, she is still a leader among Democrats. She's a sitting lawmaker, and while she's not Speaker, she's Speaker Emeritus. I think it's kind of signaling almost Democrats retreating when there is something powerful to showing up and saying, we're here, we're going to sit here, listen to him take the oath of office, be sworn in, but we also exist. There's also a counter and an alternative here. To me, that just feels like an odd missed opportunity.
But she's 84 years old. She just fell head first and broke her hip when she was on a Codell in Europe. She fell off some marble steps. She's on a walker. The inauguration is outdoors. It's going to be in the teens.
Yeah, if she gives that statement,
because
Barbara Bush and HW, Barbara Bush and HW did that the first Trump inauguration. They were both aging and said, we can't safely be there. Our doctors said we couldn't. That's a totally legitimate reason.
What bothers me is the capitulation that's going on everywhere. I mean, at this point, Michelle, Nancy, Kamala, and Karen Pence are standing up against Trump. The men are folding like cheap suits.
It's the women. It's just the women.
I agree. I just want to.
Let me break it down for you, Joy. You're so out of touch with reality that you can't even comprehend the basics of leadership and cooperation. Of course men are going to the inauguration. It's not about folding like cheap suits. It's about emotional intelligence, something these women clearly don't understand. The men know they have to do business with Donald Trump whether they like him or not because he is the president of the United States. They understand what these women refuse to. You can't let emotions get in the way of progress. You have to move past personal feelings if you want to get things done. If we followed the logic of Joy Behar and the rest of The View, this country would be in ruins. Their ideas would burn this nation down faster than the California wildfires. These women don't operate on common sense. They run on hate, emotion, and ignorance. And what's scary is that they have a platform to spread their lies to people, especially liberal women who actually look up to them. It's dangerous, and it's a big reason why our country is so divided. They're not helping. They're hurting everyone.
This is not a normal inauguration. No. This is not a normal person. Right. He's a convicted felon. Why do they go as if this is a normal inauguration?
It's not. Because the weakness it presents to the friggin' globe when you have presidents that say, just because of this, we're not going to... America voted. The normalizing of President Trump happened when the American public went out and voted. And
let me say this.
The Germans voted also.
I think Michelle Obama...
I just want to add to what you said, Joy.
Yeah.
It's not about... taking your ball and going home. It's not about being childish. It's about normalizing a man who refuses to do the normal things that presidents do. And he is going to continue to do that. And I think that it is perfectly appropriate, if he felt it was perfectly appropriate, to skip his successors, rightful successors' inauguration. Also, he thought it was appropriate to keep that successor from coming to the White House and receiving him from the White House. Why does he get to be congratulated? Why do the norms apply to him?
But the point remains that 75 million Americans voted for Trump. That is the normalization. Nancy Pelosi's attendance or lack of attendance is not what is going to normalize him. And I think the sooner that we wake up to the fact that the governing reality, the world we exist in next week, is Donald Trump as president.
That's right. Donald Trump is the president. And the reality is nobody cares about Michelle Obama, Nancy Pelosi, or who's going to the inauguration and who's not. This is the real news. None of that affects us. You know what actually matters? The policies that our elected officials implement, the decisions they make that impact the American people, not photo ops or the petty complaints from privileged left-wing radicals. The American people care about results. We want leaders who focus on what benefits us, not distractions or nonsense about who gets special privileges. If you agree and you're tired of the noise from the radical left, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Help us hit our goal of 200 subs. Like and share this video. I love you all, and I'll see you in the next one.